All right, so this is the last unit, and this is probably the most complex because it involves both the top and the bottom. So we actually have two given units, and so we're going back to SI units, which you guys should be familiar with by now. And in this one, we do have a unit of time, which everybody knows time by heart, so we don't have to Google anything this time, which makes it a little easier. So we start with 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, and we're converting that into kilometers per year. So we have our units are, we have meters and kilometers are units of length or distance, whereas seconds and years are going to be units of time. So obviously we can't relate these two to each other, but we can relate meters to kilometers and seconds to years. So this is going to be 2 steps, because first we're going to convert meters to kilometers, and then we're going to convert seconds to years. So find an equality that relates the units. All right, so you guys should know millimeters, meters, kilometers, and everything by now. But how I remember it is, here's your meters, right? This is from smallest to largest. These are going to be your millimeters. These are going to be your kilometers. So kilometers are bigger than meters, so a kilometer is 1,000 meters. That's how I remember it. I don't know if that'll help anybody. And then that's how I remember also that there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter, because you're constantly getting bigger. So that's how I remember it. So our relation here is that there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And then seconds to years, you kind of have a few relationships, because I don't know if anybody just knows how many seconds are in a year off the top of their head. If you do, kudos to you, but I don't. So seconds, you have 60 seconds is 1 minute, and then you have 60 minutes is 1 hour, one day is 24 hours, and then 1 day is 24 hours, and then you have 1 year is 365 days, and we're assuming it's not a leap year. What?
1 minute doesn't equal 60 minutes.
I mean, oops, 60 minutes, sorry, equals an hour, a day equals 24 hours, and a year equals 300. Sorry, got ahead of myself. All right, so here is our relationship. So here's our distance, and then we have a few different steps for our time. But like I said, time is something that everybody knows, so that's not as difficult. So we can go ahead and move on to step 3, which is create conversion factors. So 1 meter, you have 1,000 meters over 1 kilometer, or 1 kilometer over 1,000 meters. So that's our 1 for our distance. So then for time, we have we have 60 seconds in 1 minute, or 1 minute over 60 seconds. And then we have 60 minutes is 1 hour, or 1 hour over 60 minutes. You guys get the idea on that. So now we have to actually do this, and so it's going to be a little bit long, but just stick with me through each step. All right, so what we do first, always do first, start with your given. So we have 3 times 10 to the 8th meters over 1 second. All right, so like I said, we're going to do the meters first, and then we'll go ahead and do the seconds. So we need meters on bottom, So it's 1,000 meters to 1 kilometer. All right, so now we have kilometers on top. Ta-da! We're halfway there. Now we need to get seconds to years. So seconds are on bottom. So to cancel out those seconds, we have to put it on the top. I should have written this smaller. I'm out of room. Oops. Meters. Okay, so seconds are on bottom, so now we need seconds to be on top. So we know there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So now our seconds, so we're in kilometers per minute, but we want kilometers per year, so we have to keep going. We have minutes on bottom, so we need minutes on top now. So we have minutes per hour. There's 60 minutes per 1 hour. So now we're in hours. But it's on bottom, so we need it on top to cancel it out. There's 24 hours per 1 day. You guys can still kind of see it. So hours. So now we have days on bottom, so we need days on top. There's 365 days in 1 year. So days cancel. All right, so we ended up with kilometers on top and years on bottom. That's what we wanted, right? Kilometers per year. So multiply all of this out, and you end up with 9.46 times 10 to the 12th kilometers per year. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. You could do seconds first and then do meters, or you could do it the way that I did it and do meters and then seconds. But the point is, when you have two different measurements, you have to do one and then the other because they're not actually comparable to each other. And obviously we needed to convert our meters and we needed to convert our seconds. So we needed to convert distance and then time. You can have any different pairing, but what you have to do is do one at a time. And it ends up looking kind of funky, but you get an answer. So ta-da!